Sam Hauser has a career night. Kristaps Porzingis gives us a medical update. Not sure I like it. It's all right now on the Lockdown Celtics podcast.
Yup. Beantown, be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Back to back, if I say it, it's stamped. Locked on number 19, the best one, the next one. Juice loose in your pool now for the next run. It's the C's, who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT, Karalis, recap the madness. Every game, every practice. Best daily pod, no cap like Brad Beckett. Clutch like Drew to KP, tap in daily. Prime time, dapping D White on the sideline. Raining Jace, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Hey there, welcome back to the Lockdown Celtics podcast. It's right here on the Lockdown Podcast Network, where it's your team every day, and I got you covered every Monday through Friday. So please make sure you are subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. Bonus podcasts on the weekends. Celtics have 2 weekend games, Friday and Saturday night on the road, so I will have bonus podcasts for you there as well. So those drop directly to your device. If you subscribe, watch the show on YouTube, get into the comment section, share your thoughts on this Boston Celtics win over the Utah Jazz. I'm John Karalis. I have been covering the Celtics for about 20 years. I'm doing it now as a beat writer for Boston Sports Journal. So I'm in the locker room. I'm there. I'm talking to the guys and just giving you that inside perspective. And this inside perspective was that the Celtics won a game that was kind of not so great. It was not the best game in the world. Celtics ended up winning it 114-108. They were up by 24. They had a huge third quarter. Thank you, Sam Hauser. And they had a horrible fourth quarter that saw the whole thing go away. They close out late, and they win the game. Later on, Porzingis tweeted out an update on his health. I'll get to that in the final section. But I just want to start with the big story of the night, Sam Hauser. Sam Hauser had a monster 33-point game. He joins a growing list of guys who have had big performances on this homestand. They are 6 games into this homestand now. He is the third guy to hit 9 3-pointers in a game during this homestand alone. He is the fourth to set a career high. So of the 3 guys, obviously, Derrick White, Peyton Pritchard, and now Sam Hauser, who hit 9 3-pointers in a game. 4 guys have set career scoring highs. Sam Hauser, Derrick White, Peyton Pritchard, and Baylor Shireman. Baylor's was 15 points, but that's all right. Still a career high. And he is the 5th guy to score 30 or more points in a game. This is all just during this homestand. It was White, Pritchard, Hauser, Jaylen Brown did it twice, and Jayson Tatum did it 3 times. By the way, Tatum did not play in this game. Al Horford did not play in this game. Obviously, Porzingis didn't play in this game. Again, more on that later. Hauser went off for 33 points, hit 7 3-pointers in the third quarter. He alone outscored the Jazz 23-22 in the third quarter. And that ended up being enough. They, like I said, brought that lead up to 24. That ended up being exactly how much they needed to maintain or at least not lose the lead, because at one point in the fourth quarter, the Jazz did tie it up. But Hauser just kept hitting shots, and it got to a point where like he was starting to get run off the line, and he drove and had like some great finishes, or tried to have some great finish. He tried to dunk on somebody, actually. Got to the free throw line. It's the Celtics needed somebody to do something in this game. The first half of this game was kind of crappy. There was nothing of significance other than Derrick White having a 13-point second quarter. It kind of was like a ho-hum. The first quarter especially was a little bit was slow. I thought the Celtics offense was a little clunky for a while. They just kept looking for mismatches. I think they were matchup hunting a little too much. I think Jaylen was trying to do a little bit too much. I'll get to Jaylen more later. But throughout that first half, like the Celtics were slowly building a lead because the Utah Jazz are super tankerific. They are just, I mean, let me just say, side note, what a chef's kiss, perfect tanking game this was by the Utah Jazz. Come out, stink, fall behind by 24 ultimately, make a big raucous comeback, and then fail to execute down the stretch. I mean, that's a perfect tank job because you hung around, you really stunk for a while, you came storming back, and you still couldn't finish. You still ended up losing the game. Jazz fans get to be happy about it, and Celtics fans get to be like, they won, let's move on. So the third quarter, they needed Hauser to do something. And at one point, so he was 1 for 6 in the first half, 1 for 7 after missing his first three-pointer, and then boom, was it 5, 6 in a row? The thing about Hauser that really gets him in position to hit these shots, afterwards, Joe Mazzulla said, like, we don't have a lot of plays for him in the playbook, and which makes sense. Like, you probably have a couple of, hey, we need a 3, Sam's in the game. We can run this play for Sam. They might not run it for Sam. Generally speaking, it might be for Tatum. It might be for somebody else. And you can run it with Sam. But Hauser is just more put yourself in the right position, put yourself in the right spot on the floor. And when something else gets cut off, I'm there, catch and shoot. And Hauser's real skill is reading and understanding what his teammates are doing. What's Jaylen Brown doing in this game? What's he attacking? How is he attacking? How are they defending him? And then sometimes you start in the corner and you stay in the corner. Sometimes you start in the corner and you rise up. Sometimes you end up, going to the opposite side. You make a sacrificial cut and you set up on the other side in case somebody helps off of you. All of that stuff is how Sam Hauser gets himself in position to get catch and shoot opportunities. He doesn't take a ton of pull-up shots. I mean, he does every once in a while. He'll have a heat check here and there. But it's impressive that even when he's cold, like he was in the first half, he doesn't stop working to get those spots, to get in those spots, to get that position. Because everybody on the floor knows once one falls, a bunch can follow. He's also so much of a threat that even if he's not hitting, guys have to defend him. And being a threat out there is enough. You're spacing the floor and drawing a defender. That's enough. Hitting the shots is obviously preferable, but being in those positions as a threat is helpful. Then being in those positions just so when Jaylen is driving, he's like, oh, there's Sam. And, I asked the question after the game about guys being cold and not shying away from them, even though I know they're never going to shy away from Sam Hauser. They're never going to do that. Jaylen Brown, when he drives and gets cut off and sees Sam Hauser in the corner, he's not going to be like, ooh, he's 1 for 7 right now. No, he's going to be like, damn, that's Sam Hauser. That's why he's wide open. Let me pile up some assists, potential assists. So you move the ball to a spot when the guy is in the right spot, spacing the floor properly. You give him the ball and you trust him. No matter what the previous play was, you trust him. So shout out to Sam Hauser for continuing, even when he's cold, even when he's frustrated, to getting into those right spots and then eventually knocking down the shots. So it doesn't matter if you're 1 for 7, you end up shooting. What did he end up shooting in this game? He was 47.4%, 9 of 19. I don't know, man. Another side note. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to somebody taking 19 3-pointers in a game. That is incredible. 9 of 19 is what teams used to shoot. That was a hell of a shooting night. Wow, the Celtics made 9 of 19. What a night shooting from 3. And that wasn't that long ago. Sam's out there doing it by himself. So shout out to him. Shout out to the guys for finding him. Incredible performance. And that really is what won this game for the Celtics, even though, as I'll get to next, the fourth quarter did not go well, and they had to make a late rally. I'll talk about that when I come back. Today's show is brought to you by Skims. When I found out Skims was making underwear for men, I was pretty intrigued. My wife was very intrigued as well. She's a big Skims person, and now I'm like, yeah, I get it. I understand. It lives up to the hype. You know, guys, we all have issues with underwear. Fits aren't always right. There's a style thing. You know, you want to be able to walk around and feel good. Skims changed all of that. Their men's line offers something for everybody, from boxer briefs to classic briefs, all designed with the perfect balance of comfort and style. I have the 5-inch stretch boxer brief. It's great just to wear, but also if you're going to the gym, and it is comfortable. It stays where it's supposed to stay, and you don't feel like you're walking around like kind of restricted. You don't feel like you have to kind of, pull little tricks to be like, ooh, I gotta fix my underwear. No, this is, they don't ride up, they don't lose their shape. These are great. Check them out, because I'm telling you, once you get them, I feel like you're going to be hooked. They're great for an active lifestyle. They move with you. So lightweight material. It's amazing. Feels like you're wearing nothing. So shop Skims men's at skims.com/LockedOnNBA and at Skims stores. Let them know that we sent you when you place your order online at skims.com/LockedOnNBA. Select podcast in the survey and then pick this show from the drop-down menu so you can let them know that we sent you. Thanks for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out the new Locked On Celtics newsletter, free Monday through Friday. All you got to do is go to lockedondaily.com. Hit that Locked On Celtics logo like you're seeing on your screen right now on the YouTube page. Enter your email. I'll send you an email every Monday through Friday with Celtics coverage, and plus NBA coverage from around the network, fantasy coverage from Locked On Fantasy, links to great Celtics content around the web. So go check that out. LockedOnDaily.com. Click on that Celtics logo. Enter your email. It's a great way to keep up with the podcast if you miss a show. Let's get back to this discussion here. Fourth quarter did not go great for Boston. They gave up a monster run at the beginning. Brice Sensabaugh went just ham, crazy. And in a sense, he is like another one of those randos who comes into Boston, like, the Dylan Brooks game, and you're like, oh, well, he's not going to do this, and he does it, and you're like, oh, come on, really? 17 points in the fourth quarter? Brice Sensabaugh, 9.7, he's averaging 9.7 points per game this season. Now, he is playing better since the All-Star break. This isn't even the best performance that he's had against the team. He's had a bunch in January, February, March. He's had a bunch of good games. So don't want to make it seem like Brice Sensabaugh is making dropping a big game out of nowhere. But at the same time, there's a good chance that a few of you probably didn't even know who Brice Sensabaugh was. And to see him hit 17 in the fourth quarter is a little nuts. Jaylen Brown after the game says, part of our scouting report was that we wanted to give certain guys shots and they missed them throughout the game. Then at the start of the fourth quarter, they hit them all, and it seemed like consecutively, which helped them storm back into the game. That's exactly right, Jaylen Brown. That's what happened. They got hot. They were 11 of 15 at one point. I was counting up to, you missed 4 of 15 shots in the fourth quarter, and the Celtics were not keeping up. They were missing. So combination of things again, Jazz getting super hot because the defense tails off, the Celtics hunting mismatches and not running good offense. It was not great until the 3-minute mark, right? The Jazz had finally tied it, and Jaylen Brown draws a foul. This is where Jaylen, I'll talk about Jaylen in a minute, but Jaylen ends up drawing a foul. He hits the first free throw to break the tie. He misses the second free throw. Then in comes Drew Holiday. Offensive rebound. This was huge. Gets it out. Relocates. Gets it back. Hits the three-pointer. A missed free throw late in the fourth quarter ends up benefiting the Celtics for once. They make it a 4-point play. They go on a 9-1 run. Jaylen Brown dunks out all over Walker Kessler. And then Sam Hauser hits one final three-pointer, and the Celtics get an 8-point lead with 1:20 to go, and that's it. Is it great that the Celtics had to make a late rally to beat a Jazz team that's clearly not great? And also, by the way, missing players. They were missing Lauri Markkanen. They were missing, I forget how many. They were missing a bunch of guys too. So this wasn't exactly the best that the Utah Jazz had to offer. But the plus side is that they did get it together. They did stay patient. They did keep their wits about them. And yeah, I understand. This is the human nature of it. This was the trap game. I think I mentioned this. We talked about this on this podcast a few weeks ago when we talked about the schedule, and I wrote about it on Boston Sports Journal, that this game was always going to be dangerous for Boston. That coming off of the Lakers game, which is a big game, heading into the Thunder game on Wednesday, which is a big game, obviously, but this Utah game would be the just, okay, we're going to relax and just mess around and have a little bit of fun. And a Utah team doesn't want to keep, they want to lose, but the players don't want to lose, right? The front office wants to lose. Danny Ainge is happy with the result, but the players want to win. They're out there trying to win. And this was a game that they tried to win. And look, maybe it was beneficial for the Celtics to play all these guys, or to sit all these guys, I should say. Tatum, Horford, Porzingis. Well, Porzingis is a different story. Again, I'll get to that in a minute. But you do force some guys in there that are going to give you a little bit of energy, and maybe you fight some of the human nature element of it. And even that, they gave into it at the beginning of the fourth quarter. So not great, but they did it. And so you just take it and you move on. Jaylen's an interesting case here because the raw numbers say great, right? 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, a block, 3 turnovers, which, it's for a guy that's a high usage guy like Jaylen Brown, 3 turnovers is not the worst, but I didn't like how he played for most of this game. And I think the knee was a problem. He did, like I said, get that dunk on Kessler, which was incredible. But when he landed, he that right knee was bothering him. I think this might have been less of Jaylen. He wasn't coasting. I think the ball just got a little sticky with Jaylen. I think with Jaylen, he just was looking to mismatch, to hunt the mismatch. He was constantly looking for Kessler. And look, Kessler did a fine job for most of it, where stayed in front enough. And I'm a little surprised there was only 3 turnovers for Jaylen, because it felt like he bobbled the ball a little bit more and lost it a little bit more. A couple times he got fouled. He did get to the line 11 times and was 10 of 11, which is big. The numbers say that Jaylen Brown had a really good game. And, I just feel like he had a big finish and he had a strong finish. I just felt like within the good game was a lot of slow down stuff that I didn't like. Obviously assists come from guys making shots. And if you keep feeding Sam Hauser, he's going to make shots and you're going to pile up the assists. But I didn't think Jaylen had his best game. And he said afterwards that his body, he wasn't feeling his best. I don't think the Celtics should have played him. I don't know why he played in this game. OKC is the bigger game. Sit him in this one. I hope they don't sit him in that one. But now I don't know if they might have to. At the very least, he should not play in the back-to-back Miami and Brooklyn at the end of the week. You just have to be smart about him. You have to be smart about his knee, managing how much he plays while managing how much rest he can get. I don't know exactly what the knee soreness is, other than if it's like a tendonitis type of thing. I'm very familiar with knee tendonitis. That's just something, it's a pain that you have to manage, and some rest can help. So I hope they rest him. I hope they just are smart about him managing his minutes the rest of the way. So ultimately a good game from Jaylen Brown. I'll just say ultimately a good game from Jaylen Brown, but I thought he could have played so much better. In a couple of other individual performances, and then the Kristaps Porzingis medical update is next. Today's show is brought to you by Wayfair. Your home should reflect your style, and with Wayfair, it's easier than ever to make that happen. Whether you're looking for a simple refresh or tackling a big home project, Wayfair has everything you need in one place. Wayfair's huge selection makes it easy to find the perfect piece, no matter what your space, no matter what your budget. From cozy furniture and stylish decor to kitchen essentials and outdoor must-haves, Wayfair has it all, and at the prices that fit your budget. I know this from experience. Half my house is from Wayfair. It's very easy when you say, hey, I want something different. I want to update this look. You go to wayfair.com. You can find that perfect piece. Easy shopping and delivery. Very simple to compare styles. My wife and I will text each other like, how about this? How about that? How about that? You know, we can say, well, what are you thinking? And I'll say this color and this style and this, and she'll just plug it in and boom, here it is. Great. And there's more than just furniture too. You have everything from storage solutions to patio decor, making it a go-to for all things home. Head over to wayfair.com and find something that's just your style today. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On NBA. The Locked On NBA podcast has game night 7 nights a week, covering the whole league, all the games every night. And then there's Locked On NBA in the afternoons, a debate show style show. I'll just keep saying the word show over and over again. Monday through Friday on the big topics in the league. So go check that out wherever you get your podcasts. Some individual performances here in this game that stand out. Derrick White he had a good second quarter, struggled shooting the rest of the way. And like, I didn't even mention Jaylen, 8 of 20 shooting, 0 of 5 from 3. He did get to the line 11 times. Not a great shooting night for him. Again, I think that's the knee. Derrick did not shoot well, but 18 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, plus 3 blocked shots. Early on, he had a couple of blocked shots that the Jazz were just getting back and finishing. So it was like, I mean, yeah, you want to block the shots, but it was bad luck. So, you know, overall, like, okay night for Derrick White. Jrue Holiday, maybe my favorite performance of the night, just because he hits 2 of 5 from 3, 4 of 9 from the field, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. A couple of those rebounds were offensive, including the one at the end. He had a couple of steals, a block. Anytime that you get Jrue Holiday hitting shots now, I like it, because it shows that the mallet finger is not a problem. No one's really mentioned it. It looks like he's fine. Tough shooting night for Peyton Pritchard, 3 of 11. Rough night for him. Torrey Craig, Baylor Shireman only played 12 minutes apiece, but I thought they were decent stints. I thought Baylor Shireman was, high energy, but he was a minus 11. So was Torrey Craig. They didn't play their best, and so Joe kind of went away from them. But I don't know. I thought Baylor Shireman's energy was actually pretty good. I thought Torrey Craig did a couple of good things. He was 2 of 4 from 3, But I think there were some defensive mistakes in there that were costly. So Joe kind of went away from them. I would not have, because look, I would rather just get Torrey Craig out there and play more, but I don't know. Joe has his methods. I think Baylor Shireman has done well in this stretch here, these past few games, to show that, maybe that was a pretty good draft pick after all. And then Neemias Queta, 4-4 from the field, 8 rebounds, a block shot. Not a bad performance from him. Getting in there and finishing off a couple of passes. Not bad. Not great, but not the worst thing in the world. So okay, let's get to Kristaps Porzingis. Save the best / worst for last. During the game, we're just sitting there and we're like, here's Kristaps Porzingis just tweeting out an update for everybody. So let me, I'll read you what he said. I've been dealing with some viral illness that we haven't been able to identify fully yet. I'm recovering and getting better, but still working my way back to full strength to help this team. Thank you for the support, and I'm hoping for a healthy return soon. Tweets a picture of himself at the game the other day in the nice big green Celtics starter jacket. Not the most encouraging thing to hear that they haven't identified the viral illness. I don't know what that means. It's not the flu, apparently, and maybe it's a different version of the flu. I don't know, but somehow he has a virus and he's sick, and who knows? Still working my way back to full strength means that he's there, he's working, he's trying. And I don't know what else to say there. It's vague, but the confirmation is that it's still an illness. It's still just a sickness, right? He's not walking around on crutches or anything. They're not pretending it's a sickness that is something else. He's sick. What it is, I don't know. There are a number of different viruses out there. There have been athletes who have gotten sick and taken a while to come back. Maybe this is something that people have seen before in sports and recently, and maybe it's kind of like that. I don't know. I really don't know. It's been weird to get these kind of like non-updates. It's never been, nothing that I've ever heard has suggested that it's anything but he's sick, but at least we get the update somehow, something. Now, can they identify what this is? That'd be nice, right? It'd be like, I don't understand how are tests not, they must have done tests. I know they're doing tests, but it's like, how do you not know? You can't tell what it is at all? Apparently not. So hopefully before the next game, we can get more of an update. We'll see on Tuesday what the injury report says for the Thunder game. So don't know what that's going to bring, but we'll see what Porzingis is listed as there. That's the best I can tell you. So it's both encouraging that he'll be coming back soon enough, I guess. Discouraging that they don't know what illness it is. But, 17 games left. You need to start getting him in there for some minutes. Now you got to start rebuilding his cardio all over again. It's a little bit of a tough spot. The longer this goes, the tougher it's going to be. Luckily, the first round, they can probably do it without him, no matter who it is. So there's more time there. But you just can't have this drag on for much longer. Well, not that they have a choice. You know what I mean? We're going to wrap it up there. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Hopefully, maybe before the next podcast, there's more of an update. If you're not subscribed by now, please subscribe. I'd love to have you subscribed because then the show gets dropped directly to your favorite podcasting app, and we're on all of them. You'll get the bonus podcast on Friday and Saturday. You get all the podcasts. You can watch the show on YouTube if you'd like. Come join me over here on the camera side of things, and then get into the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Share your opinion with everybody, and then go share the podcast and tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.